Sister not go England, go do like giver.
Redefining broadcasting.
Oh,
Listen,
Oh, for man,
you are listening to Elegbete TV Radio.
you need the acting.
Elegbete TV Radio.
Huh?
We dare
She need
to
to do movies
lead.
again.
This is radio like you've never heard before. Elegbete TV Radio, the pathfinder for radio.
see, when you don't set up, just let me know. We go switch to the story. All right, good morning and welcome to the Sports Buffet on Elegbete TV Radio. My name is Dafe Mathieu. So you love to call me the Elegbete one of sports. Okay, let's some matter today. Let's talk about all the things that are going on in the beautiful world of sports. Uche Ogene, please calm down. I'm in the studio. I will get back to you when I am done. Okay, so let's get in on the conversation. I just find out that I've been appointed into a committee. I've gone from what's that committee they put me that first time? They put me one.
I can't remember the name.
Strategic strategic wanting committee.
You were in the list.
Now they put me in the what's the committee I'm on?
I don't know.
I see it's on your WhatsApp group.
Okay.
They put me in the marketing. I wanting. Okay. NFF, and their beautiful ways of doing things anyway. Well, I won't lie. I think so. The first one, I wasn't interested at all. Any bit interested at all. I think this one, I'm really interested.
Marketing sponsorship committee.
Marketing sponsorship committee. That's a good committee. That's where the money at. I need money. Well, I don't want freebies because so that they don't go and say I will be the corrupt people. I just want to work and get paid. I just want to work and earn my money because NFF not get money to pay people salary. So when you're in that committee, you don't get paid any allowance or any money. People should know that one. Imade is with us. Imade, you not go training. Imade talk will not be just to join and just be there. Chat with us. What's going on in your camp? What's happening? Somebody asked me a question. Say, why did this go dry up in the second half of the season? It's a guy in Tokyo, one club president. I still not get answer for the guy, but that's a topic for another day. Like we know people can give us stress because they want to do business with you. Well, let's leave that one for another day. That is my guy. I love the boy. I think very soon we'll be talking a different story. This weekend we were invited to the Uprise. Is it Uprise now for Flag Football League? Yeah, we're invited to the Uprise Flag Football League. We'll talk about that one later. My producer is setting us up for something. We'll talk about that one later. But there's a whole lot. Yesterday, our girls got knocked out of the FIFA Women's World Cup. Once again, the devil of not being able to score a goal in the knockout round rear its ugly head. But this is a game that we played very, very well. Okay, this is a game we played very, very well. And it just so happened that we lost out. Okay, no problem. That's one of those things. We go on. This is I think this is the first time the Super Falcons will lose, and you will not feel like they didn't do well. They were lazy. The coach, you can't blame the coach. Okay, so a lot of people on your platform everywhere were saying Wardrum should be fired before the Nations Cup, before the World Cup. Sorry, and I think you were also one of those who thought he should be let go, right? Mm-hmm. Do you still have that opinion?
I think he's done well despite the whole fracas at the beginning. And if it was me, I think I'll keep him for the next target. Then if he doesn't, do well.
What's the next target?
If he wants to stay, I mean, I think there's Olympics coming up as well. There's one coming up. So, and for a person who wants to stay, I think the players have built his relationship
Trust.
with him strong, and relationship with him, and he loves the job. He wants to continue, and he wants to be there. And even he is a person that doesn't want to be there anymore. But I've said, okay, let him be, but he still wants to be there. So why not give him a short-term contract again and let him continue from where he stopped?
Okay. Let's go back
I don't
again.
know what you think, though.
Wait, you already know what I think. I'm not against. I'm not for sacking him before now. Let's go back to the Okobi dropping.
Mm-hmm.
Before the World Cup, people were like, how dare you? How dare you? How can you drop Okobi? You look at that squad and you still think that Okobi was missing.
I think we didn't see this version of Tony Payne heading into this World Cup. Like,
And Ashley Plumtree
and Ashley Plumtree as well. She was everywhere. Tony Payne held her own in that midfield, even though at times she was playing from the flanks as well. Ayinde as well, maybe her playmaking abilities, Okobi, maybe you could say that was what he didn't. I didn't think we regretted it at the end of the day, but she could have add something different.
Would have created more.
Yeah, would have created more with her. But I'm not going to sit here and say her being excluded was the reason we were knocked out, or was the reason. I can't pinpoint that as a reason for any game we played in the World Cup. But I think with her, we could have created more from midfield, in the World Cup.
The winner, can we conclude? Because why I'm saying this is I'm taking it from the position a lot of people have with Garnacho. I still think that the sacking of Garnacho was a fundamental mistake. I will stand by that because I've been proven right over and over again. Do you not agree that at some point we should, as a people, learn the habit of being really patient and also accepting that building a national team is different from building a club side football club? For instance, Arsenal have been building a team that's meant to compete and challenge for title. But in that process of building that team, they spent close to $1 billion. But beyond spending close to $1 billion, they've also been patient with Arteta. Nothing has been won yet apart from an FA Cup and 2 community shield, if I'm not mistaken, or 1 community shield. And for that investment, everybody is still patient. Can we learn in Nigeria to be patient with coaches and understand that the dynamics of national team football is completely different? And people make mistakes, and we as a people need to understand. And what I'm saying is become a pattern with Nigerians. We Nigerians, we are too hasty with our judgment. 2012, Goodluck Jonathan want to remove subsidy. Everybody, not everybody, because I supported the removal of subsidy. Everybody said Goodluck Jonathan is a devil, is draconian. Why would he increase the fuel price to 97 naira, if I'm not mistaken? This one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Subsidy cannot be removed. Why would he want to remove subsidy? Fast forward 11 years later, we have removed subsidy. We now buy fuel for almost 700 naira, right? And the dollar exchange have also gone up. Now we're not longer saying these people are devils anymore. If only we were patient in 2012. If only in 2014 we did say that we want iron-handed president, that the president that we had is a woman rapper, that is so soft, is clueless, maybe we would not be here. If only we had allowed Garnacho to stay, maybe we would not have gotten knocked out in the round of 16 of the World Cup in Cameroon, of the Nations Cup in Cameroon. Maybe we wouldn't have lost to Ghana. I would have gone to Qatar. Would have made over minimum $15 million. Okay, coming into the economy, coming into the system. My point here is, have we not shown with our actions? Okay, let's even go to basketball. Sorry, recently a new coach was appointed with less than a month, or so, let's say 6 weeks to the tournament. And she decided that the way she wants to go is to do open trial. Everybody wanted to kill the coach of the Tigers. Everybody said, even players of the Tigers that are abroad were angry. And then the trial was even designed in such a way that those of you bring on mic, those of you abroad should not come to Nigeria for tryouts. Do your tryout in Chicago or so, or Dallas. And then the other ones in Nigeria do the Lagos one, the Abuja one, and then they come together. Everybody was shredding her. And the people that were talking, some of them don't even know jack about basketball. They don't know what traveling is. They don't know what a free throw line is. They don't know what a 3-point line is. But they don't know the difference between offense, line, guard, and the rest. They were all talking. We won the product of the open trials, won the 4th Afro Basketball Championship. forfeit. Have we not reached the place where, as a people, instead of trying to even correct people that are leading us, we should correct ourselves? Have we not reached that place? I mean, critically assembling all of this together, because we've been, as a people, making the same mistake. We jump into the bandwagon of saying things that we shouldn't have said, doing things that we shouldn't have said. When it happens, we are the ones that suffer it. And if the people stick their gun and do the things that they want to do, the result works well. Take for instance, NFF agreed with Nigerians and sacked Donald Trump. See the result. The basketball people stuck to their gun and say, no, we're going to do the open trial and go ahead with it. They went on to win the basketball championship. And what's it called? The coach of the women national team, Randy Wardrobe, stuck that to his gun and picked the players that he wanted to pick, even against all odds. Look at the performance that they put out. We weren't disgraced. We weren't embarrassed. Some people got beaten in this tournament 6-0 and the rest of them. We weren't. Okay? We lost to pre-tournament February. I'm not happy that we lost because we could have won that game. But all the same, I'm not angry with them. I'm just pained. Yeah? So is it not time now that all these armchair critics, roadside analysts should chill, relax, and be patient? Because again, we're building a nation. And to build a nation, it's a collective. And sometimes our over-sabi seems to get in the way and rock the boat. What do you think?
I think, I mean, you said it all. Even in football, it happens. It's shown that whenever we do well, we tend not to build on it. Maybe there's just one thing to disrupt that flow. In 2013, won the AFCON. The next one, we didn't go.
They qualify.
2019, we got bronze under Gvardiol. The next one as well, he was fired. It didn't go well. Now, Randy Wardrum has done well. I think we need to, like you said, we need to be patient with some of these decisions, and we just need to, support these people in as much as we don't want them. And for Randy Wardrum and the NFF, I know there's been some bad blood recently. A lot of people didn't expect them to do so well in this tournament. I mean, we were here. Like you said, I was one of the person who would think like this is a man who wants to go. After the World Cup, is like anything we want to make it happen. But I was surprised to hear that he still wants after the game against England, that he said that he still wants to be on the job. He loves the players and he's just waiting for the decision from the NFL. I think it's time we need to learn from our past mistakes and then to make some stable decisions and not just disrupt whatever progress we've had in the short term and all that. So for Randy Wardrum, I think this is a perfect time for us to prove that we've learned from the past and just allow him the benefit of that for him to continue with the team and see where it goes from there.
I had a conversation with the president of the NFF and I gave him my 2 cents. And I'm going to extract a part that I said we're chatting because we share ideas. I think I've had more conversation with him than Amaju, who is my guy, even on Nigerian Football Matters. And I said, my professor in Canada once said, leaders do not need people who only agree with them, but also those who disagree. We should not sack the Super Falcons coach, but that's not my call. This is an advice, and I don't force it on you. One of our previous mistakes was sacking Gvardiol. We are still suffering from it. He may have said things in anger, but he deserves to continue. I grew up, with Florence Amagwe. I know this women football the best way that I can. I think that sacking him because he had a shout out with the NFF, which he duly had the right to, because you were owing him 14 months salary, you paid 7 months, you're still owing him 7 months, and then you cut his backroom staff. There is a boil over there. That doesn't mean he's a bad coach. From the point to take your decision, take it from the tactical ability of the coach in this World Cup. Do a tactical report. Even if you don't do, we have people in FIFA who can help you extract the FIFA tactical and technical report. Look through that one and decide based on that, not because you don't like the face of the man. I have worked with people before who don't like me, but they kept me on the job because I was good on the job. It's not eye service, it's professional job. So and he replied and said, thank you very much. That's a very good one. I appreciate your patriotism and your passion towards Nigerian football. Wish everybody have your kind of energy. Thank you very much, Mr. Ibrahim Yusuf. Now, having said that, let's move on. This weekend, talking about patriotism and passion, this weekend we were invited to a very interesting event. Special shout out to Moses Praise. right? And Moses Praise, I've always said that our industry does not have a superstar ambassador. Like in comedy, you have Alibaba. Alibaba is like the top man in comedy, and the pricing of the orders always watered down from Alibaba. So if Alibaba, for instance, would take 10 million in an event, you know that the next man in line, second in command, is Basketmat. So you could put Basketmat in 8 million. And then AY, talking about AY, our hearts go to him for the fire that engulfed his house, according to the news, allegedly, according to the news. I'm not there, so I wouldn't say I know what happened, but it's a fire engulfed his house, and I had to go to him. And so you price them like that, so there's ranking. I think Moses Praise have also earned the right to be like a superstar personality in the sports media industry. And he gave us a call to attend the press, the press meet the press event at the Radisson Hotel. Lagos Continental Hotel. We're all there, and after that we went for the combine. So in football we call it trials. Basketball too is tryouts, and in the NFL it's called combine. So we went for the combine. In other words, screening. We went for the screening, but it's the combine. That's what they call it in the NFL, and it was fun on Saturday at the Italian International School in Lekki. And then on Sunday, we were at the Lagos Preparatory School, Glover Road, Ikoyi, for the championship finals between the Chiefs and the Lions, right? The Yellow Trumpets and the Chiefs, sorry. The Yellow Trumpets and the Chiefs. And it was 40-0. It was a very beautiful one. But in all of this, we met 2 times Mr. Two Rings, not Two Shins, Mr. Two Rings, O.C. Umeyora. He was there, and we also spoke to Bimbo Bankole, who talked about this. First of all, let me ask you, what was your experience like getting to know? It's your first time, right? What was your experience like?
I thank God I was there. It was a beautiful experience. I loved the whole. Shout out to Moses Praise, like you said. I must say shout out to as well Babatunde Koiki as well for a wonderful,
brilliant guy.
Yeah, how he hosted the presser and all that. I really loved it. It was really wonderful. The whole NFL thing. I've been following NFL, not really deep, but I like the
excitement, the razzmatazz, the energy,
the energy of the players and all that. And it was an eye opener. The pressers. Where during the pressers we had over I think 100 Nigerians playing in the
NFL.
That's massive. That shows you the beautiful insights that young man Osi Mayora is trying to bring into Nigeria. The 4 teams from that Uprise Flag Football League. It's also exciting to hear that 3 of those teams are owned by Nigerians as well, who also played in the NFL or play in the NFL. The other Americans retired. Bringing that into Nigeria.
Just to add, this is the beautiful flyer. Because I went there, I went there to learn. I'm not in marketing, I'm not in branding with football. And I'm looking at, okay, what if the Super Six had something like this? Yeah. It's just a leaflet like this during the Super Six, and it outlined all the goals that were scored, all the results, all the yellow card, all the red cards, amount of penalties. I'm just saying. And then on the back, you see each team, their owners, their chairman, their media officer, the phone numbers. It's a very small thing, but attention to such details might just help you. Like in this case now, we know that you have the Tigers, the Chiefs, the Yellow Trumpets, and the Lions. And then their owners, okay, for the whole arrangement. And you get information about people like David Josko, Emmanuel Ogba, Romeo Okwara, and Maurice Drew, who are owners of each of these teams. And then the commissioner, okay, in other federation you call president or chairman. In NFL the name is different. Osi Mayora is the commissioner, and for me it was very brilliant. And the path to education for me was really exciting, because you can't just do this without school. Your result must be good, and then you can play football without going to school. But for this, you have to American football. You have to be academically inclined. I think it was beautiful. Let's take a listen to what first the organizer here of the what's it called, the Uprise Flag Football League teams, the guy who organizes this, who put everything together, Bimbo Bankole, talk about the Uprise, and then I'll go to very, very brilliant guy, and then talk Also, we hear from OC talk about bringing NFL to Nigeria, which is good because we already have about 100 Nigerians playing in the NFL. And OC Mayora is the only Nigerian who's a two-time winner, played 10 years for the Giants. What we hear from him later, let's hear from Bimbo Bankole.
OC Manura. OC Manura is an NFL veteran. He's played in the league for about 13 years before he retired. Two-time Super Bowl champion, and also the champion of American football and flag football in Africa.
That guy,
the end goal for Uprise, opportunity. Create opportunities for a lot of the young Nigerian athletes that need something else other than what we already have now. We have basketball, we have soccer, we have all the other sports. But because of the immense talent of Nigerians that play in the NFL and the opportunity to bring those kind of athletes that are here, homegrown athletes that can play the sport, understand the sport, excel in the sport, and most importantly, change their lives and the lives of their families. That's the end goal of Uprise, to bring as many people back to the NFL to show the NFL that we can do this here in Nigeria. The main difference in not just the NFL, but in contact football and flag football is, if you notice in contact football, you have to wear pads and helmets and the whole nine, and it's a lot more aggressive, right? It's really the physical part of it. Flag football itself is just the watered down version. It's just basically the most simple way, the simplest form of American football. That way everybody's included. You can teach the young men and the young girls how to play the sport safely and as cautiously as possible. And it's also the fundamental stage, right? So when these kids learn how to play flag, they can have all to different levels of American football, where they now finally get to play contact. But flag football is the fundamental stage to include everyone and to learn the basic format of American football.
This is radio like you never heard before. Elected TV radio, the pathfinder for radio.
And that was Bimbo Bankole explaining it in detail, what the difference between the NFL, the contact side of it, and the flag football. But then let's, the big one is the NFL. If you play grassroots football, it's like flag football is like playing grassroots football, like playing for G12, playing for Box to Balls, 36 Lions. And then NFL is like going pro, going to play in Europe, playing for AC Milan, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Liverpool, Manchester United. I know you like me to mention Liverpool anyway. So let's hear from the guy, the commissioner of the Uprise, who is bringing NFL to Nigeria and why he is bringing, bringing NFL to Nigeria, the benefits and all that. He would have to say that OC Umeyora or Ositadima Umeyora was born in the UK. Let's not forget, born in the UK, spent a few time here in Nigeria, went abroad. He had his own top journey as well. Sometimes you see his luck or whatever. And I think one of his response to my question, he talked about his father being a goalkeeper in Enugu back in the day, and his father is always bragging at home that he saved the penalty with his tiny finger like this. Watch out for it on our YouTube channel. You would get to see. But let's hear what Osita Dima Umeyora have to say concerning bringing the NFL to Nigeria.
Redefining broadcasting. Listen.
My name is Osi Mayar, creator of NFL Africa, owner and operator of the Uprise, basically. Two rings came from winning 2 Super Bowls. When I was playing for the New York Giants as a defensive end, I played there for about 10 years, and I was able to win 2 Super Bowl rings, which is something that I don't think any other Nigerian has been able to do. So that's where the name 2 Rings comes from, because there's something special about Nigerian people, and not just in sports, in every single avenue of life. If you go overseas, if you take them out of this situation that we're in, and you put them in a situation where there are things that are working, you'll see that they succeed. So all they need is opportunity. But we have the intelligence, we have the athleticism, everything that's prerequisite to having success. Nigerian people have it. So all we have to do now is give them as many opportunities as possible. It's a very simple thing to do. First of all, it's not American football. That's what we say, not football, American style. That's basically what American football is, right? But really, the thing that holds a lot of people back is the infrastructure needed to play American football. You see them with their helmet, their equipment, all that type of stuff. But when I was in America, once we started playing the game, there was none of that. It was just you get a ball, you throw it, somebody will catch it, and you run. So you fall in love with the game that way. It's a very simple thing to do. All we need to do now is bring as many of the footballs over, tell people, hey, listen, it's touch football, you don't need all this equipment, and the game is going to explode. because the opportunities that it provides a lot more opportunities than any other sport, really. As you can tell by the amount of Nigerians and Africans who are in the NFL right now. And we're taking guys who have been on the streets of Lagos last year, they're in the NFL right now. We have a special and unique ability to be able to play this game, but the people here just don't know about it. So the more we introduce it, the more we give people opportunities, the game is going to explode. Well, first, it's on us. I'm talking about like the NFL and, the people who understand football. It's on us to let people know what's going on, right? Because for the most part, what you just said about how there's 100 players, nobody here knows that, right? So the more they hear, they'll be like, wait, how are there so many players over there? And what do they do, right? And then you see a lot of these guys that, look at them, they're playing this game. They've never played it before. They just go on YouTube, and it becomes natural to them because we just have that innate ability to be able to play this game better than pretty much everybody. So they go on TV, they go on YouTube, they start to watch, they start to study. We start to introduce more leagues, more flag leagues, more touch football leagues, all those things. And you see the game start to take off from there. People will go from there, we'll hold the camps. People show up to the camps, we give them the opportunities, and it grows from there. Yeah, keep the hope up, man. Keep the hope alive. We're going to find you, and we're going to give you opportunities. That's what we're here for. We're going to give you as many chances as possible to make something better of your life. I think I was given that opportunity, and I think a lot of people want to do charity, right? They want to say, hey, we'll come here and we'll build wells and we'll do all this stuff. Well, I'm a firm believer that Nigeria's natural talent is the people, and as much opportunity as we can give them to shine, that's what's going to make our country even better.
Elected TV radio, we dare to lead. This is radio like you never heard before.
Right, that was OC Mayor for clear explanation of details. I wrote to Ray Ego, says hi Shifalegbete. I tried messaging you on Instagram. I am not sure your Instagram handle. Yes, I saw your message. I replied, and I'm sure you were away from Instagram because I sent you a response. You didn't reply, so I moved on. Okay, so let's get back to the conversation. And a very good friend. I mean, when we talk about supporter of this project, before it became this one that everybody can see, this is like the key. I was still in Brilla when he started, nudging me in this direction. Lost his mom 2 days ago, if I'm not mistaken now. And just as I lost my mother-in-law yesterday. So we're both in mourning mood, but I say that I accept our condolences from the house, and God grant you and your family, your siblings, and everyone the fortitude to bear the loss. I know how it feels like. I've been there before a couple of years ago, so I know how it feels like. And I'm looking at my wife, and she's just in that state that I cannot explain. The funny thing is, I'm the worst person to be around when you're mourning because I don't know how to deal with it. I'm indifferent. I'm just watching like a fool. That's it. But it's not deliberate. That's just the guy that I am. I'm trying to learn how to, because you don't get romantic when you're trying to console people, do you? You don't get all these emotional, like just cook food, prepare food, be nice. I don't know, man. You know what? Do you know what to do?
Do you like being in that situation? For people telling you sorry, take her, take her.
I don't think it will work because I wasn't raised like that. I wasn't raised with an emotional space. See, people don't understand when you grow up with a mother and a stepfather. It's a completely different thing. And in my own case, my case is kind of like very, very complicated. When I say complicated, I mean that the complications stem from the fact that my stepdad didn't know that I exist, and then all of a sudden I showed up, and then it's a long story. Okay, so put it this way: that your mom got married to a man and told the man that, oh, I had a child before, but the child is dead, and I was in the UK. And then my father died, and then my twin brother died, and then they brought me back to Nigeria. I said, "Sure, you said the kid died. What's happened?" So I didn't have the luxury that a lot of people have to live this life of, okay, my stepdad, my mom. You have advantage if you're living with your stepdad and your mom, right? Your food is secure. But when you're living in my kind of situation where your presence now is a threat to the marriage and everything, and it's different. So I wasn't raised to be really emotionally aware, right? I was told from very, very early age that I'm a bastard. I used to think I was my English name, actually. because my English name Matthew came when I went to primary school. When I started primary school, Matthew was not my name. My name was S. Ogane. That was it, right? And they used to call me bastard regularly. People in the neighborhood, if I go to Warri, there's a particular area where I go to, older people still call me bastard. They don't call me bastard, they call me bastard. Oh, they see bastard. Like, they don't even know that it's a wrong thing. Like it's a wrong, like it's an offense or like it's something wrong. They just think that that's my name. So they call me that. And I grew up being told that dead fowl is more important than me. Like, slave is more important than me. So I don't have that emotion that people have. That's why when people talk about mental health, depression, I can't relate. And I'm not going to go try to do research to relate to that thing. I don't know how it feels like. So when you see me behave the way I behave, I'm a product of my environment. So I got tough skin, I got thick skin. Also why I'm very, very touchy. I'm not going to let you, some people say, hey, they slap you yet on that shit, I will kill you. It's not because I am violent, because I have been dealt that too many times. So I'm not really the guy who you want to tell sorry, sorry. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I remember my mom died and I went to Warri and I was sitting outside with my players. My players came to visit me. I was talking about my mom, how she cook ogo soup, the best ogo soup and obepo soup. And I was laughing. And then my stepdad, brothers and his cousin, they were like, why was I laughing? They were angry that I was laughing. I was like, you guys, nobody raised me to be emotional, right? I remember too recently, my stepdad, like, I don't call him, I don't talk to him. I said, why would I call you? This is how you raised us up. When you're coming, we'll run away. When you're coming from work or travel, we tremble. We don't have a relationship. Remember, I'm not your son. So bad you didn't attend my wedding. Why do I have to call you? And people say, oh, they say you're too harsh. No, I'm not too harsh. This is who you created. You can't create a dragon and be looking out for a puppy. It doesn't work. I don't know about how that people think, but that's who I am. So that's sir. I don't know. That's why I hate Happy New Month messages. Too much greetings sparks trigger me. Like, what's all the nonsense? That's why I say that.
All right.
I'm raising very, very emotionally aware children, very sensitive children.
I think we're quite similar in some regards, but as time goes on, we get to understand better. Let's kick on the show.
Yeah.
And yes, it's another beautiful Tuesday. I mean, fallouts from the Super Falcons yesterday was the whole talk of the world. But I have should I take this question?
Go ahead.
Regarding the NPFL. This one is from Chooks. He said, beautiful conversation from you guys so far. I think I would also keep a keen eye on what OC is doing with the NFL. He's just crediting that bit of the show. Then this is his question. Please help me ask a little bit. Now that we know the NPFL is going to be a regular season, what should the IMC build on from last season?
There's no IMC again.
That was what he said here. Is that what should the IMC build on to make this coming season a successful one, especially following from your conversation last time on the show? Remember, we were on the show talking about the NPFL. So you had that conversation. So what changed now that we're going to a complete season? So
for many people who care to know, I told them that we're going to have a full season. But when that suggestion came up, I was also, I'm in the management, I'm in the team. So I told them that, look, listen, let's take a gamble. Let's go all out and do the full season. I'm with the clubs on this one. The NFL president gave his opinion that if they're not going to be able to, and I understand his consideration. He's sitting, I remember asking him, I remember when Amaju said to the players that we pamper you, give you 5-star. You came out to insult him, not even attack, you insulted him. Now you are on the seat. How far? And he just smiled. He's like, I understand. I know where you're coming from. I said, but you're an accountant, right? So you know money more than even Amaju. Amaju is a sales.
It just reminds me of the ministerial presentation this past weekend. There's a guy at Boston Tijan he's a tech guy. He's blasted the president, blasted Tinubu before, blasted others before, and he came to apologize in front of everybody. And now that he's a minister and all that. So
I think we should talk about that blossom maybe later. But let me answer this guy's question. Most times, and this is something that Nigerians need to learn as we go. Dr. Jesus, good to have you. It's been a while. This is something that Nigerians needs to learn, and very fast. Pretty much the first half of the show, we talked about Nigerian, the way we behave. We're unique people. We're different from every other race. Not even black people. We're different from every other black race. We're very, very unique in our ways and all that. But not everything about us is good. Some are just sheer gross ignorance. You know, you see Nigeria where somebody will show up on your channel, for instance, insult you and tell you I'm giving you constructive criticism. It's in Nigeria where somebody who does not know jack about what you do tell you how to do the thing that you do. But let's put it this way. We are putting too much demand on the people we're not supposed to be putting demand on. You are a fan of the EPL, right?
Yeah.
Why are you a fan of the EPL?
Me.
What brought you to the EPL?
The football.
No, which team?
Yeah, Liverpool. Sorry, Liverpool.
So you are a Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do. Who's the president of the NFL? The EPL. Who's the guy in charge of the EPL?
What's his name? I really can't remember his name.
The point is, you are a top breed football presenter, reporter, analyst, commentator. You can't remember the name of the guy who run the EPL.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that run the Bundesliga? Who's the guy that run La Liga? It's very popular. It's been popular with Tavares, right?
Yeah.
Who's the guy that run the Serie
No.
A? French League on, Portuguese League, Dutch League. Why are people concerned? You see the reverse now. Why are people concerned about the IMC or MPFL management? It's not important. They've set up the structure. They've set up the guidelines of everything. What people we should be calling to order at the clubs. This same mistake is what we do with our political space. We don't call out. We don't question or speak to our councillor, our local government chairman, our state house of representative reps, our commissioners in state level, our ward councillors, the senators representing our constituencies, or the National Assembly members who represent our constituency. But we want to be bold enough to question the president. So at the stage of being a councillor, it's just a little chick that just hatched out of the egg. We can mold and fold them all, a puppy. We can tell the puppy not to poo in the house, not to eat on the ground, like that. I've trained dogs before. But when that dog become a monster, a bull mastiff or Rottweiler, top dog, you can't teach it new skills. Yeah. That's why they say old dogs don't learn new skills. So Nigerians must know where to channel their call to. Pick the club that you support and demand excellence from the club. If I'm a fan of Sporting Lagos, I'm going to say, what is not in Sporting Lagos that Sporting Lagos needs to improve? What are they doing well that I need to thumb up? Where do I come in as a person who's a fan to support? That's the key element that is missing in our game. You don't go to the NBA and try to talk to the NBA commissioner. Who the hell are you? You don't get that power. So Elegbeleye is actually not as answerable to Nigeria in the full scheme of things as we think. If there is anybody we need to talk to, we need to talk to the clubs. Manchester United fans have never protested against the EPL. They've protested against their owner. They protested against their coach, the manager, or the football director. The same for Arsenal, the same for Liverpool. Have you ever heard Liverpool fans protesting against EPL? No. But what we do here, we want to protest again. In our own case, we want to protest against the EPL. We want to question the EPL. We want to say this, we want to say that. There are things that the EPL is doing that sometimes I don't get. To me, I think that the EPL, this is my own thinking, is match fixing at the highest level. Like the most advanced level of match fixing happens in the EPL. So much so that you can predict a lot of things about the EPL. Like you can even predict the coaches that will be sacked. You can predict what player will flop and what player will not do well. You can predict what stage the season will turn. It's drama. It's scripted. Now season fin, a prison break, and then the end, right? But where you get to focus on when you watch Prison Break or Power or Empire is either you're watching Prison Break because of Michael Scofield or his other gangs, or you're watching Power because of Omari and 50 Cent or the other guy, or you're watching because of Cookie or, Empire now, or because of the other, everybody. That's the thing that the culture that we should not imbibe in Nigeria. Because in football, it's the club that you as a fan have attachment to. And again, with more fans' attachment to clubs, you empower the club. Once the club becomes powerful, you cannot first off negotiate proper deals, money. There is nothing holding Nigerian football back but money. Nothing. The one thing, I say this from a position of knowledge. This season that ended, I got into production. From production, I lifted up a notch higher into marketing. I sat down in a meeting and brokered a $20 million deal. Something that I have never done in my life before. $20 million deal. All signed, almost sealed and delivered until the Swedish company, Sweden was where I played my football, so you must go to your roots, where you have connections. And until the Swedish company reached out to their Nigerian liaison office, and the Nigerian office said that the Nigerian league does not have digital footprint to deserve such money, such spending. Instead, let's put the money on Burna Boy, Davido, Portable, with Zazu, and a host of others. So that killed the deal. Would have, like, by now for the sleep, like, okay, I have $1 million, 5% of 20 million is $1 million. I have $1 million. Where's the place for me to go and stay now in Nigeria? Where's the place? Where's the place to buy a house, live comfortable? Am I going to stay in Abuja? Am I going to stay in Banana Island? I'm going to stay in Koi. Where? That would have been my thinking. But hey, it didn't happen because we don't have digital footprint. It's not the NFF. And I need to clear that it's not the NFF or the MPL that will do that. They've already set their guidelines. They set their terms of registration. Come and register your teams and come and play. Now, we the fans, us the fans, all of us, should focus our energy on the clubs. Pick the club that you support and put that energy on that club. Demand from them what you want them to do. Stop going to the NFL. That's the MPFL. That's the way I can answer that question. Let's continue the show.
All right. Hope that is clear for you, Troops. Now let's move on the show. I mean, the Super Falcons. A lot of people are waiting for, our takes. It was a game that was full of emotions.
It was.
People were, you got knocked out, but people were still, praising the
loving
girls,
you,
loving the girls, cheering the girls, and all that. It was a beautiful game. Monday morning, where you expect a lot of people to be at work. But, people followed the game.
I just didn't bother starting my show because it was going to be useless.
Yeah. So I thought you were going to do like a follow along.
I can't. I'm a YouTuber. I can't do that. I can't do it for that, because I was watching the game. I was watching the game here, so I need to hear the commentaries, all the nuance and everything that's going on. If I go on and I put that audio on, you know how it is. I mean, you know the industry we're here. It's the most difficult media space to operate in.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the game now. Nigeria, England. I mean, we talked about how we will qualify from the group where we were the lowest ranked team. Against England, I mean, European champions, we held them. We're the better team. Over 120 minutes. I was listening to the English coach. She's Dutch.
Serena
Wagman. She spoke so highly of how Nigeria set up for that game, how we were physical, we were pressing hard. They found it hard, to beat our press and all that. Overall, looking at that game, how would you sum up that game against England? Now, before we talk about the whole competition in general, where do you think it grew on for the Super Falcons? Because the English team were down to 10 men, at some point in that game, but we just couldn't capitalize. How would you sum up that game? How we set up? Should you think we should have done better? When they were 1 man down, we should have gone for the jugular, go all out attacking the team. Overall, how would you sum up the game for the world?
So let me, if I want to sum up the game overall, I think that we need to take a few steps back. I use the catapult effect by going back to go forward. So let's take a few steps back going before the tournament came up. Were we expecting this team to be this good? To be this, to keep clean sheets in 3 games? We were not expecting it. We were expecting them to be mauled, massacred, and torn apart. England is pre-tournament #1 favorite, even though they're #4 ranked team in the world, but they're the #1 favorite, up to the point that they were rated above USA and the rest of the teams in the tournament. So we came up against that kind of a team. You know how hard it's going to be. Having said that, in the game, it was in the 87th minute that the English team got done. England in this tournament have scored at least a goal in the first 10 minutes of every game that they played.
Yeah.
So they played Nigeria for 120 minutes and they scored a goal. What happened was, if you look at the game tactically and you're sitting on the bench on the English side, you could have said, the Nigerians are playing a high line. Why don't you lob the ball over and use the speed of Lauren James and the other guy, Kelly, and the rest of them. Unfortunately, we didn't. I think the Nigerian team took the words of our president, compressed it together, and missed it. Like in the Bible, they say, good measures pressed that shaking together, running over, shall men give unto your bosom. So they took the word of the president, let the poor breathe, do not suffocate them. They now took it conversely and said, okay, it means let the rich, suffocate the rich, do not let them breathe. Because what the team did, the tactics of the team is suffocate the English team, do not let them breathe. They couldn't have time. When you say a team like Man City, because that's what the English team play like, but it's just that they had a little bit of direct play to their game. How English team setup is they expand the field, the width of the field with their passing range, and then they drag you out of position. And the hardest thing to do for 90 minutes in football is to keep positional discipline. They drag you out of position, especially when you're playing against a superior team. They drag you out of position, and then they lob the ball, and then the attackers run in to punish you. We made one mistake. Hojlund made a mistake. Clearance the Tina ball, and Dime, and the goalkeeper saved us. After that moment, there was nothing again for England. Now, what we now did was to run. Practically played 2 games in 1 game. Run more. You know that thing Will Smith will say, you might be taller than me, you might be more skillful, more talented than me, but you cannot outwork me. I think that's the mentality that the team took there. That, guys, I don't care who this England team be, they cannot outwork us. Let them be more talented, let them have more investment, let them have more money, more name, more brand, and all that. But for here today, we die here. So they came up with this. They cannot outwork us, just like Nigeria in Atlanta in 1996. They cannot outwork us. Let them be running. We'll go run past them. Let them fly. We go wish today. We'll go Kovu. We'll come from Benin. We'll go use witchcraft. Everything they can do, we'll double up on them. And that stopped the English team from getting into their rhythm. And once that happened, England was playing scared. Now, people have talked. I've seen a lot of posts about the red card. Oh, Nigeria could have gone on. They say, when you run like that, not be too hard anybody gets. It's not like a turbo engine where the thing is, at 65 minutes, Nigerian players were already burning out. Now lungs, 9 days their body, now air that is still in breathe.